Well, wouldn't you know it, all good things got to come to an end. I had a good run not having to do much to vehicles. Steele, you know, he wants this thing, so he asked. You know, I got it wired, the injector wired up, and it was driving, and he wanted to go wash it, so I let him get in it. He literally drove it right there to wash it, shut it off, and now it's just clicking. I don't know if it's the starter. I put the battery on the charger, and it, let's see, that battery voltage gauge is at, he had the radio on and all that stuff. I told him, you know, the battery's dead. Well, then he came out here, and he's one of my sons that's not the car guy, so he accidentally put the cables on wrong and cranked that charger on. And the reason I have that old school charger is because newer chargers, if you have a bad sounding battery, it won't charge. So you have to do a couple things to get it to actually read a battery and charge. That thing right there, you put that thing on anything and it's shoving voltage into it. So it's got a 50 amp start switch. He flipped her over to 50 amps and backwards on the battery. I don't know if it fried the solenoid or what. Hear that? It does that even after sitting on the charger for, you know, 10 minutes, even on 50 amps. That 50 amps crank over a diesel truck. That's why I kept that charger. Actually, funny story is I always used to go over to my dad's and take his. He has the same exact one. And he'd go to look for his charger and I'd always have it. And he actually, for a Christmas present, went on eBay, found the same exact one, and gave it to me for Christmas because I always steal his. This is the best battery charger ever. You crank that bad boy to 50 amp start and it'll start anything. Like I said, you plug that bad boy in and touch these terminals together, she's sparking. So yeah, it's just clicking. I ran my ohms meter. It's shoving power 12 volts to the let's see, 20. It's shoving 12 volts to the solenoid. It's clicking. The motor's not locked up. It turns freely. I put a socket down there, turn that bottom pulley. Turns freely. I thought maybe, okay, the motor locked up. Maybe, who knows what. Sat for 3 years, mouse in the top, who knows. You know what I mean? I just ruling it out. Motor's not locked up, turns freely. Let's see how many volts we got here on our battery. Right now, 1184. So that should be enough to at least roll that over. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming it's the starter. I went down there with a screwdriver because you can jump the solenoid. Went to AutoZone. They had a starter for 120 bucks. I was like, Jesus, that's an expensive gamble. So I went to a place called Quick Start Battery. And tip of the day, folks, don't go to AutoZone for batteries or starters. Got this bad boy. AutoZone's the cheapest around for 120. Got this for 75 at Quick Start Battery. So I'll take mine out, I'll take it back, and I'll even get money back. Go to your local battery shop where they rebuild starters, alternators, and sell batteries, and you will save, like I saved 55 bucks off that starter. Actually, even more once I take my core back. So either some of you know what it is and you're calling me an idiot and I'm crawling under here for nothing, or the starter's gonna fix it. I think when he hooked these up backwards, blasted it with 50 amps, I think it fried that frickin' starter solenoid down there. It's sending voltage down, it's clicking, but it's just not turning. So I don't know. We're gonna take this off. I'm gonna climb underneath this beast, see what I can't get done. Man, this was such a good flip. It was gonna be so easy. I was feeling bad too, because Steele wants it bad, you know what I mean? He's pressuring me. He sits in it, listens to the radio. Like, God, man, make it hard on me. But you know what? We got bills to pay. You know, he's gonna get a car. He's gonna get a good car. And I don't, right now, I gotta make money. He doesn't have his license for another 2 weeks. I bring one of these in every week. Two Jeeps in a week, it seems like. So, yeah. And I'm going to look at a smashed Honda Civic today around 3 o'clock. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, enough talk. Get to work. I've got my power wire off, my ground wire off. I'm going to get down there and start pulling it. It's only 2 bolts, so that's nice. Crossing my fingers this works, guys. All right, we dropped it. We got it hanging by a wire. It's easier to take that little wire on the clip off once it's out. There's a metal brace right here. You have to unbolt and swing out of your way. There's the hole for the starter. These 4.0s, if they're not leaking oil, there's none in them. So just know that. These things have never been good at being potty trained, so they're always wet. But if you keep oil in them, they'll run forever. They will look like this though, all of them. So I'm going to clean that up, and then I'm going to try to get this other starter in. Hopefully this works. This wire clip right here, you have to transfer that over to the new starter. It does not come with that. And basically, just goes on that tab there. So I'll transfer that over real quick, and then we will get it back in, hopefully. All right, well that was intense. I put the new starter in and it was still clicking, clicking, clicking. So that starter's probably still good, but whatever, 75 bucks. It is what it is. I'm not gonna take it back to the guy. So it ended up, it was still clicking, so I did some YouTubing and I found, you know, you follow this green wire and then you jump it. It was still clicking. I was baffled. I could not figure it out. I was beginning to think that when he hooked those terminals up backwards, he fried something. But I called the guy I bought the starter from, asked him, you know, what's the possibilities that that starter was bad, and he said, you know, he doesn't think it was bad. He told me to take the terminals off, cut the wires back 3 inches, and redo everything. Clean all these up, scrape the insides and scrape this. I did all that, put it together, and it started right up. Man, I was stressing. I didn't know what was wrong. I've never encountered that before. Usually, you know, you get a click, you replace the starter, it starts right up. And if it makes a noise, then you know, you gotta shim it. But yeah, I learned something new today, guys. If you got a car and it's just a click, but the gear doesn't spin, because basically, you know, a bad starter won't do anything. A bad solenoid won't do anything. But if you get a click and all your lights stay on and nothing dims, then it's generally this ignition wire at the solenoid, and you can jump that. And if it still clicks, then you know you got a problem in here. I took my grounds off down here, all 3 of them, cleaned up those surfaces. Never would have thought to take these off, clean the outsides, the insides, cut the wires back. There was quite a bit of corrosion, you know, 3 inches back. So, you know, thank God they were long enough to cut back. But yeah, so I did that. That was probably about a 2-hour ordeal where I was just scratching my head, hoping for the best, because this would have been an $800 paperweight, and I don't really have time for an $800 paperweight, to be honest with you. So it's running good. We're back on track. It's been raining. It looks like it's gonna rain again, and I haven't been able to get on this. I don't want to paint and then it rain and just completely, you know, wash the side or ruin it. So still got to get that. I think I'm going to start painting that. I actually took the battery out of this one and put it in that one just to see, just to rule out battery, you know what I mean? That one sat for 2 years. You never know, maybe I dropped a cell and it just didn't have the amps, but it wound up not being the battery. So I gotta take that starter back to the guy. I asked him if he did returns, and he was like, yeah, you know, I'll return it. Usually once you put it in the vehicle, you know, it's yours. But I was like, you know what, man, I called you, you told me what to do. It worked, it fixed it. That's worth 75 bucks to me. I'll bring you that other starter back. Thank you, I appreciate your time. So yeah, he helped me out. That's worth 75 bucks. Otherwise this thing would still be sitting here and I'd be losing sleep over it. So I got quite the mess. I stripped the wire harness back a few inches trying to trace wires or melted wires, because when you put that thing at 15 amps or 50 amps, it goes right up to 16.5 volts. I mean, that'll start anything. It really does. So I was just worried that something fried back there, or the pigtail that goes to the starter. Heck, I didn't know. I knew it was on this side of the motor somewhere. Went through all my relays, switched relays around, tried to make sure it wasn't starter relay, but the starter wouldn't even click if that relay was bad. So yeah, there's a starter in a Jeep. If you ever hook up your terminals backwards, it fries the wire, corrodes it, and it'll leave, you know, dust back there, and it almost essentially ruins the wire, I guess. I don't know why it would stop working, but that's just my theory. So, and it's really common on these, actually, that Jeep Cherokees, especially Grand Cherokees, get the click no start problem. When I searched it on YouTube, there was a million videos. I came across some really good ones, but they didn't help me. There was another video that said run another starter relay. If you get some resistance in your starter wire, I guess like 4 ohms or whatever, it'll make it. I don't know. I don't know. Just, gosh, thank God. So we're back on. Steele wants this thing bad. I think I'm gonna sell it. I don't know, but let me get some paint on this Jeep. That way at least something, you know, we get something done in this video. All right, I've taped this off. I'm gonna leave the fender flare white for now. A few people said I should paint the fender flares. I just want to see what it looks like first, and if I don't like it, I can just paint those real quick. So we're gonna start painting. I just wiped it down, so here we go. And there's first coat, guys. Doesn't take long at all. I dig it, man. I wonder how it's gonna look with them fender flares showing. It just kind of gives it that off-road look. I don't know. I might buy that for 1,200 bucks, 1,500 bucks. It's solid. It runs good. So everything that's rusted is pretty much take-offable. Like the doors, them quarters, no, but buy you some fender armor, make you some fender armor, that'd make it look good. The rivets would still hold. And let's check this side real quick. Yeah, it's really hard, guys, to like, you have to make sure you're spraying this way here so you don't get the tail light. Around here, last time I had a whole line of overspray on the other side I had to go through and brake clean. But yeah, it's looking a lot better. So let me get another coat on this and then call it a day, and I'll rip this tape off, see how it looks. Boom. What do you think? It's freaking windy out. Trying to paint in this wind, it's humid. Look at that. I'm gonna have to wipe all that off. but brake clean takes it right off. So I don't know, I think I like the fender flares white. Maybe I should do them black. It would save me from having to wash off a bunch of overspray. Just get one good look at it. Gosh, what do you think? I'm on the fence here. So, Britt talked me into painting the fender flares.
I did.
So, I think that's what I'll do. Now we're on our way back to Joann Fabrics for the third time.
The third time.
For some Velcro.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that starter back to that guy, since I owe him my life for helping me fix that. I would have never thought cut the battery cables.
We are counting our blessings right now because that was awesome.
I was about to panic.
Yeah.
So, I'll be back. We'll wipe off, well, we'll paint the fender flares and then I'll wipe off all the overspray. Alright, we're back. I'm still on the fence. Will it look weird if I paint those and not the doors? Either way, let's do it. Now it looks like I bought it from a dang police auction, don't it? Maybe I should paint those doors all the way across at that line. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm not going to keep on doing everything to it. All I need to do is buy Colorado Highway Patrol stickers and put them on the doors and call it a day. Maybe I'll paint those doors, maybe I won't. I still got to go to the junkyard for this one. I got to do a bunch more stuff to it. Well, not a bunch, but you know, a few more things. So I got a couple days to figure out what I want to do. I may just paint across those doors and call it a day. Looks like a police Jeep now, I think. I don't know, it looks better not being as rusty, so that's good. This thing, what a day. I'm so glad that's fixed. That would have been bad. I'm going to post this one right now, so hopefully by the next video I have a price reveal. That'll be cool. That thing should sell quick. It's low mile, 4.0, really clean rust wise, so we'll do a good cleaning on that one. Maybe I'll do a video of that tomorrow, paint the doors on that one or something. I don't know, I gotta go to the junkyard, so it'll either be a junkyard video, it'll be something. We've been so freaking busy lately. We had all 6 boys start football this week. We got orientations, they start school Monday. Man, I haven't had time to do anything. It's been raining, so I couldn't paint this. I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, thank you, man. What do you think I should post the Grand Cherokee for? Let me know. And if you like the video, please throw a thumbs up. That shows YouTube we're doing good things. If you learned anything, you know, think about subscribing. Appreciate you watching, guys. See ya.